Okay, so here's the cliff notes from my repair of the toa-60 Cuisinart toaster oven. Not exactly a repair that I did. I wanted it to work right away. So I gotta order some more of these FZ31 9E 20 amp rotary switches to repair the function switch. So my repair seems to have only fixed half of this dial. So I get toast, bake, fan bake, and air fry. When I move it to this side here, these don't work. So what I did was I took the switch apart. The ball detent part failed in it. I took the ball detent out, put it all back together again. And I don't know why half of it doesn't work. Maybe the contacts are dirty, something like that. But anything that has this FZ31 9E switch in it is designed to fail. This switch was designed to fail. The either side of the retainer that holds this ball detent in place are really thin and flimsy, and they break off, and then the ball is rolling around in there and it breaks stuff up. The contacts are really tiny and easy to become corroded. So you can kind of tell that the switch that they used was designed to not work for very long. It's very flimsy. All the other switches in here visually looked a lot more robust than the switch that works this. So there's two switches in a row here, actually, two identical switches. And I took the ball detent out of the broken one. You can tell that the ball detent had also like knocked some stuff off. There's these little like rockers in there, and they got like knocked off their springs. I tried to put them back on the best I could with my screwdriver. I didn't really feel like waiting for this, so I'll order a couple of these switches. If you're thinking about doing this repair yourself, something you should note is 3 of the wires on the back of this switch are soldered into place. So they use the little push type connectors. There's like a blade that sticks out, and then this other piece that kind of slides over the blade, and then the wires attached to that piece. So you just like pull it off and then put it on the new one. But 3 of those have been soldered into place. So if you're not a big solder fan, that's something to take into consideration. Another thing to take into consideration here is this is designed not to be fixed. So what they've cleverly done is they've put the screws. There's a million screws back here. Phillips head you got to take off. There's also 3 T10 or T15 torque head screws you got to take off. But the screws that hold this in place in the front half are in the inside. So you got to reach in with a screwdriver all the way into here to access them. I was able to access almost all of them with a regular length screwdriver tip. But these 2 here, up in here, were difficult to reach. And then there was a couple on this side that were difficult to reach. So I had to use a really long handled screwdriver that could reach all the way down in here. So if you don't have one of them, that's something to consider during this repair. So there was about 4 different types of screws. The T15s were back here. The larger head Phillips head were back here. And then some of the ones in here were a smaller head Phillips head. Underneath in here, these were like a countersunk type Phillips head. So I'm going to make a note of where they go when you're taking it apart. Also, I recommend taking a lot of pictures of the back of that switch so that you get the wires put back in correctly. I did take a bunch of pictures of mine, and I'm sure I got the wires right, but for some reason after my fix it only did this. But like I said, I didn't replace the switches altogether. I just wanted to see if I can make it work again, and that's what I did. So there's the cliff notes of the repair. I'm not going to show the actual repair because I didn't think to record it. But basically I take the back off, take out all the screws from here, take about all the screws that are in here, pull this off, and then you can access this guy here. This I had to like kind of break off. There was like a little clip that held it in place. So I got my screwdriver in back here and just flicked it out and pulled off the little broken piece of tab. And it slides in and out pretty easy now. I'm not going to pull it out because it's fragile back in here. So if you've never had to fix one of these before and yours isn't broken yet, be careful when you're using this. When you're turning it, turn it nice and slow and carefully, so that way you don't break that cheesy little switch back in there. So inside of this is all the edges inside this are like razor sharp. I did cut my finger pretty good on that, so maybe wear gloves. And good luck. Post the results of your repair. Here's those part numbers again. There's the model number, TOA60. That's the model number of the toaster oven, and there's the model number of the switch. And this is the model number of the switch here, and it's a 20 amp switch. Good luck.